Welcome to Driving Immersion. This is the immersive racing experience. Studio 397's Le Mans Ultimate is a very detailed simulation of the World Endurance Championship. This is a continuation of our full 24 hours of Le Mans series. We will be racing in Le Mans Ultimate using as much of its simulation factors to be as close to the racing as possible. We drive from the cockpit without any assist except for what exists in the car. There are collisions and damage, tire wear and fuel use, including virtual energy. Click on subscribe now so that you don't miss any of it. We rejoin the number 8 GR010 back in the pits as we drive out for our 7th stint.
Don't have cold tires, however, they are not.
Having done 71 laps already. And for that pit stop, all we did was refuel and add virtual energy. We are going to remain on this set of mediums.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're expecting.
So the tires are at about 50 degrees and certainly not warm enough, and we ended up spinning pretty early on, so we're going to be more careful from here on out. Again, this is the set of mediums that we had just put on in the previous stint. They are only about 83%, so they are still very much viable for another stint, and we may take them for a third stint if we can. So again, the number 8 rejoins in 8th place. There are a lot of Hypercars now currently out of the race, including our teammate, the number 7 Toyota GR010, the number 83 Ferrari, one of the BMWs, both of the Lamborghinis are out. But glad to note, both of the Alpines are still in the race. One of the Toyota Porsches are out. And this is the number 36 Nicolas Lapierre. And so that is the car that is behind the number 8 right now. And I believe this is the number 35. The first Alpine, and he comes down here through the Mulsanne corner.
We made it our way out, and we are in front of the Alpine. At least one of them.
This is the number 35 Alpine, if you remember in the last stint. Very big crash in the Mulsanne corner. And having a look at the car now, seems like the damage has been repaired or fixed, so back on the road and racing. And this is the car ahead of number 8 right now in 7th place.
Those tires up the temperature.
I think we found that the minimum temperature that the tires should be is about 65, 67 degrees. Until you can really start pushing them. And once they get to be about 85, it's a little high, but again, that's depending on which compound we have on. And there are the standings right there. In first place, Matthew Jaminet in the number 4 Penske Porsche, Alessandro Perguidi in the Ferrari, Neil Gianni in the Proton Porsche, Antonio Fuoco in the 2nd Ferrari, Kevin Estra in the, I believe that is the number 6 Penske Porsche, Matt Campbell in the number 5 Penske Porsche, the Alpine. And then the number 8 GR010, Nicolas Lapierre in the 2nd Alpine. The yellow Cadillac in 10th place. the only Jota Porsche left on the track, and that's Oliver Rasmussen. And then Louis Philippe Durrani, that is the yellow Cadillac. Carl Bennett is the lone Isoda. Sheldon Vanderlinde in the lone BMW. So only 14 hypercars now on the track. We are on board with, I believe this is Antonio Futo, and he is going to be right behind Neil Johnny, and that is the independent Porsche up ahead. Looking back at the Ferrari. Exiting the Porsche S's now and coming in through the Ford S's. Just before the pit entrance. And the Ferrari having a good look inside. Coming into across the start finish line. Sunset is certainly coming due, and it should be about 9 o'clock in the evening right now. Long shadows on the track. Wheel to wheel with Neil Janney. Down the Mulsanne straight.
Big white spot there for the LMP2 here. And he recovered very quickly.
Back to the Porsche and the Ferrari. Out of the chicane, Neil Janney won that one. And just a quick look back behind both of these cars. That is Kevin Estra in the number 6 Porsche. So we've got 3 cars that are within 5 seconds of each other.
So I think we're going to charge hard. Putting in some good time now.
So the second lap of the 7th stint, we are actually running pretty fast. That is 1.3 seconds faster than our previous lap. And back to the Ferrari and the Porsche. It looks like Fuoco has gotten ahead of Johnny. And Neil Johnny is actually having a very good race today. Not as quick as the other cars, but has maintained it on the lead lap this far into the race. Again, with so many retirements already. There is still a little bit more than 19 hours to go in the race. The number 35 Alpine down the Mulsanne straight. 13 seconds or so ahead of the number 8 GR10. That is the BMW of Sheldon Vanderlyn coming through your picture just before the number 8. And by the timing, he is showing to be 1 lap down. This is once again definitely a good test for good tires. Coming up to one of the McLaren GT3s. So once again we have set our virtual energy goal. I think here at Le Mans you can only go up to 1 again because of the length of the lap.
That was a couple of seconds slow.
And we will start to see the purple lights there again on the dash. When they are all on, they will indicate that we should lift off the throttle and coast into the turn or brake if we are that close. And they do come on in a sequence so that you know when to look for them instead of just flashing on, which is a very good idea.
835. That's a lot of virtual energy that we're burning through. Even though we are lifting on the purple.
Yeah, so right now it's throttle down. We are burning 8.35% of our virtual energy on that last lap. Very wide at Arnage.
Lap 3:38.16.
Back to the Ferrari. This is, I believe, Antonio Fuoco.
be the Isota up there, or the BMW, I should say.
We are back to Neil Johnny. Now he's got the Porsche Penske number 6 right behind him racing. And this is going to be Kevin Estra.
Lost a lot of fuel on that last lap. 2.01. Under 2.
Here is a Hypercar in the pits. I believe that was Neil Johnny, and this looks like the number 6. So both cars came in. Yes, it is the number 6, and again that is Kevin Estra. There is another Porsche coming in, and that should be number 5. Number 6, and looks like number 5 from here. So Matt Campbell, both cars in at the same time.
Lap 3:36.43.
On board with the number 8, as the Porsches are in the pits, we are going to pass them. This is the number 35, also being passed now in the pits. So the number 8 GR10 Toyota of Mars Medina moving up now.
Oh, I did mess up the front end. See what the damage is. Not too bad. Not but
So no damage to the number 8 in the 6th stint. However, here in the 7th stint, you can see that the left front fender is crumpled. We didn't get a chance to see it, but it was a little rub on the wall on the exit from the Dunlop curve. And number 36 Alpine in, and there is the number 3 Cadillac. Again, this is
so
Philip
no
Durrani
on this stint.
Here is the Jota Porsche, the lone Jota Porsche, the other one now out of the race. And this is Oliver Rasmussen. The Alpine going out, as well as the number 3 Cadillac, and we saw earlier there is the Isota.
We are shifting up just a little bit early again. Try to save fuel. Want to keep it below 2.0 gallons per lap.
This is the leading Ferrari of Alessandro Pierguidi. Number 51 is coming out of Mulsanne corner back to the number 8 GR010.
That is Neil Janney behind us in the white Porsche. Must have stopped. Yep, we are up to second place right now. So a few cars have stopped. And we just gotta keep charging. 8.23% virtual energy.
And we are looking at the number 51 Ferrari here, slowing on the track. This is Alessandro Pierguidi. We just saw him circling the track, and right now, if you have been watching the pit stops, he should have pitted a while ago. And there is no smoke or visible damage on the car. It's very possible that he may have just ran out of fuel. Impossible to do. I can't believe this is happening. Number 51 out of the race. And I'm hoping it's not just for running out of fuel. That would have been a really, really bad move. But obviously that's going to do it.
That is the second chicane in the Mulsanne Straight. We are up P1 as a result of the pit stop. And it looks like we are still square with them. This is the 7th lap of the stint, which is usually when they come in. Oh, very heavy braking there.
And there is Neil Janney into the wall. Looks like the vehicle is still moving as he tries to back out and get himself back on the track. And this is going to be at the Mulsanne corner. Now we've seen a few cars crash there already, including the LMP2s and the GT3s.
This is the 11th place BMW just in front of us.
But the Mulsanne corner is a very likely place to crash out as we are braking very heavily into a very sharp turn. So only one Ferrari left on the track.
That was risky.
So I think it would be beneficial if there was a pop-up when a car was out of the race. At least there's a notification. We fortunately caught the Ferrari going out, and we just happened to be having a look.
Got a pass here, yellow. But I got a pass.
And we finally made our way around the remaining BMW.
Okay, 8:37 on that last lap. That was a lot. Gotta start saving now.
Definitely gotta start watching your P's and Q's with the virtual energy. And right now we have been running about 1.5 or 1.2 gallons of fuel for each stint. But the virtual energy keeps going.
Oh, don't shift up the third. That will push the front end. Okay, it looks like we've been putting time on Neil Janney. He was in our mirrors at one point.
It's just a result of Neil Janney falling out of the Mulsanne corner. He is back on track and back in the race.
But this is a slow lap. Not braking heavy enough.
Into the sand trap for the number 8. And that was at Indianapolis.
Time 3:42.67.
Three laps.
So according to our fuel calculations, we have 6.5 gallons of fuel in the car as we enter Tertre Rouge.
Vanderlinde is still with us.
Right now we are burning less fuel than we really need to. It would be easier if we could convert that to the virtual energy, if we could save more of it. As we are lifting and coasting here, before we come into the first chicane. Now in the previous lap we used 8.16% of the virtual energy. We had recently been burning as much as 8.2 and 8.3. Under the GT3. start-finish line. We are surprisingly in the lead, racing with Neil Janney.
Lap 10, we got 2.5 laps.
And 1 hour ago, you couldn't convince me that we would be racing up here. I believe once we come into the pits, again, we will be rotating back, but we will still continue to be on the lead lap, so we are still very much in the race here for the 24 hours of Le Mans. Neil Janney and then the Penske Porsche still racing with each other. This is the lone Ferrari of Toyota, and then the number 5. That is going to be Matt Campbell and the Penske Porsche. The Alpines here use a font for their numbering of the vehicle that makes it very difficult to tell which is which from far away, 35 or 36.
Okay, we have enough fuel to get to 12. I don't think we have enough virtual energy.
So right now, as we are approaching the Mulsanne corner, we are at 13% virtual energy. If we consider this half of the track, we should still be ahead at this point, and we should be able to make another lap after this. But again, it will be cutting in very close. We really need to upshift a little bit earlier as we come into close on this stint, just to make sure we've got enough virtual energy. Right now we are good on the fuel, 3.4 gallons. We are burning 1.91 per lap. Are going to pass the pit entrance and do another lap. That is the number 6 Porsche, and he's gotten around Neil Janney in the Proton Porsche, crossing the start-finish line. Antonio Fuoco followed by another Porsche, and that'll be Matt Campbell in the number 5.
So this is the 83rd lap. 18 hours and 47 minutes left in the race. Very skinny again on the virtual energy.
.6% as we come in through the halfway point of the lap. Very much
Definitely
looking
did
like
not
we'll
get
make
into
it.
the sevens this whole stint. I think 8.19 is one of our lowest. Should come in at about 6.
Sun is definitely setting now. As you can see, some of the street lights are actually on already. Some of the brake markers are actually lit in blue, and you can see that as well. Brief look at the setting sun. Coming in through the S's once again. This time around, we are going to come into the pits, and that will end this stint. Very good stint as we come in first place. Notably, the Ferrari has bowed out of the race, and that is the number 51.
1.3%.
Lap 3,
virtual energy.
45.83.
And we have 1.1 gallons of fuel.
So we were able to save a little bit, but obviously not enough for a lap.
About 190. That Ferrari comes in a lot.
So having a quick look at our medium tires, this is their second stint, 56 and 57%. Very good wear on those tires at this point of the race.
Oh, tires are excellent.
And here are the 3 cars that fell out during the stint. Again, the number 51 Ferrari of Alessandro Pierguidi, Matthew Jaminet in the number 4 Porsche out of the race, as well as one of the Lamborghini Iron Lynx, also out in this stint. So that's going to do it for the 7th stint. We thank you for watching this race at Driving Immersion. And remember, for more exciting racing ahead, give us a like and click on subscribe or follow so that you don't miss out on the next race event. We'll see you next time.